Hello and welcome world. Hi. Let's turn that up. Hello. Welcome. We are the Explorers of Elsewhere. We are live. My name is Dan. And I am joined tonight, of all nights, this auspicious night, by Alec.
Hi.
By Theo.
Hello.
By JC.
Hi.
Hello. By Tilda.
Hello.
Hello. And by Lyra.
Hello.
There is an echo. But.
Well, my one.
Hang on. No, I think it's me. I assume it's me. Right, that should have sorted it. Okay, let me know. Jack, let me know if we're still echoing. We are here to play some Fabula Ultima. This is Explorers of Elsewhere Empyrium, the 4th campaign in the EOE campaign series. And when we last met up, we did a finale. We did an Act 1 finale. And it went spiffingly.
Right.
See? Yeah, absolutely spiffingly. And you surfed on a train. And yeah, it ended perfectly. And we're just going to catch up in a second with your characters to see just how perfectly it all went. But before we get to that, just a couple of chores. If you're watching us on YouTube, hi. If you're watching us on Twitch, hi. If you're watching us in vertical, hi. Please like, subscribe, follow as and where you are. In the descriptions, you will find links to the EOE Discord if you want to jump in and have a chatter with us about all the stuff that we're kind of playing through. So this is the 4th campaign in the Elsewhere setting, and we have different systems for different campaigns. So this one being Fabula Ultima, which is a TTJRPG. It's a love letter to games like Final Fantasy, Granblue, Xenoblade, Bravely Default, all those lovely ones. Yeah, jump in, have a chat with us. If you want to play Fabula Ultima, there's also a link to in the description to DriveThruRPG, where you can pick up the rules. There's a free kind of get started pack, but you can also now grab the Fabula Ultima rules on Nexus, which is like a big online digital toolkit, which is super handy. So yeah, make sure to check those out. Doesn't cost you any extra if you use our affiliate link, but it does give us a little bit of a kickback, which is lovely. And if you want to support us, we do have YouTube memberships and Patreon. Right. Who would like to return to the chilly wastes of Kalathar?
Yay!
Yay! Okay.
Frozen wasteland.
Frozen wasteland. Frozen. Right, let's go.
4 years. 4 years of freedom, of joy. 4 years of peace before the horns of war summoned us back.
Hi, my name is Tilda, and I'm playing Portia, the Loravar escaped experiment.
Hi, I'm JC. I'm playing Veronika, a Loravar mercenary priest of Yala.
Hi, my name is Alexo. I'm playing Ruvaen, an Aevermoor voice of the people.
Hi, my name's Lyra, and I'm playing Leif, a Dryad Rewilder.
Hi, my name is Theo, and I'll be playing Aiden, a Terran Sprite Primal Summoner.
And my name is the Dan. I will be the games master for this adventure.
What this Empyrium does not know is that we have had 4 years to bond and grow. 4 years to build our futures. 4 years to love what we fought for. And upon the mountains of this land, we will break this Empyrium.
War is difficult. That is the first truth they teach you, and the last one you ever truly understand. It wears away at you, not all at once, not with the first battle or the first body you step over. It takes its time, a little piece of you here, another there, until one day you look in the mirror and wonder what exactly survived. We won, but I could not shake the feeling that we had lost far more. Our allies came. They brought soldiers, strength, hope. They came to save us from the Empyrium. And yet, I've never felt so alone. Victory is supposed to make the future feel brighter. Instead, the shadows seem longer. I have been told they were coming to save us from the Lares when the train plunged into the waters. Perhaps salvation is not as simple as someone arriving to rescue you. Perhaps the question was never whether they could save us. Perhaps it was whether there was enough of us left to save. And so, we find... Where do we find? We find ourselves hovering over the hilltop town of Harukaze. We find the townsfolk going about their business. We find the sounds of merchants and traders hollering and calling to one another as they hawk their wares, freshly procured from the merchants and traders of the streets of Aevermoor. And we focus in on a warrior. Her long plume-like blonde ponytail shadowed by a large sashimono. And what is on Veronika's mind in this moment as you watch the happy townsfolk of Harukaze go about their lives?
I think Veronika has found a peace here. She's just completed the mission that brought her to this region. Her faith demanded that she pay respects to a fallen enemy. But in the process, she's found a little home here. She has friends and hopefully a love interest. She's watching people go about the marketplace, and there's something that she wants to buy actually, but she doesn't have the money. The room at the bathhouse where she stays isn't free, unfortunately.
Okay. As you think about about your next kind of injection of funds, you hear a rowdier group of noises approaching. And as you look up, stood in front of you are an eclectic band of a keeper, like a large keeper with a club slung over his shoulder, two, by comparison, very diminutive sprites, who both appear to be Auran, one with a pale blue, one with an almost lilac coloured skin, and matching opal-like eyes, and you can see a plethora of knives hanging from their belts, and a broad barrel-chested, like crimson-scaled dragon scent. There you are! The dragon sense bellows to you. We've been looking for you for some time, Veronika. We're due to head out soon. If you've made your preparations for the trek.
Yeah, she snuffs out her pipe. Looks up to the dragon scent man. Oh, am I not visible enough?
One of the sprites looks up to you and giggles, and normally we would appreciate a modicum of stealth, but I'll admit that large banner, that large flag you've got strapped to your back, does make you easy to pick out of a crowd.
It's the rules of the battlefield, my friend. Perhaps you're too young to remember.
The two kind of sprite girls look at one another. One of them rolls her eyes while the other giggles. And the keeper, perhaps we can share the difficulties that will present themselves to us soon. I hear that these goblin mine shafts are quite low-ceilinged, so I think we're both going to struggle once we get there, my friend. He says to you.
Yes, the classic mine shaft problem.
The dragon scent. I hope you don't mind, but I appreciate there is already 5 of us. But as we were heading down from the plateau, there was a strange fellow who was insistent on joining us once he found out that we were being accompanied by a priest of Yala like yourself. And as you sort of follow the dragon sense eye line, you hear footsteps approaching from behind you.
I turn around.
Stood in a clearly recently polished battle armor of sorts, traveling armor, in the rich emerald hues of his normal robes. Emil stands in front of you, hand firmly grasping the hilt of the blade sheathed on his waist. I couldn't... Well, were you really going to sneak away and not tell me you were going, Veronika?
Well, I'll be back. And you'll always be here, won't you? Tending to your little flock.
Emil tilts his head and... Now, why would I let you have all the fun? And he steps forward and places a finger under your chin to lift it, and then gives you a very familiar kiss on the lips.
Emil, please, I'm a priest.
You hear one of the sprite girls at the public display of affection, and the dragon scent kind of looks to you, and if we have 2 priests with us, there's absolutely nothing that can go wrong here.
Quite the opposite of cooks.
The keeper laughs as the dragon scent looks confused and doesn't quite understand the joke, but as Emil kind of puts out a hand to lift you to help you up from your seat, we move away to another. Well, we move across the land of Kalathar to a large kind of open area. The sound of sort of rhythmic droning, occasional sounds of kind of bell and soft gong, and low rhythmic ritual chanting. And 3 Aevermoor stand in a triangle around a kneeling Terran sprite. And Aiden, describe to me the ceremonial garb that has been placed on you for this ceremony. Oh, you're muted. Hold.
Right, there we go. Hello.
Hello.
I think Aiden is wearing a very, he's never looked so fancy, but it's really not even that fancy. It's very simple, very beautiful linen. And then I think the cloak that we usually perceive him in is, imagine a white version with gold trim. And I think there might even be feathers of varying kinds across this cloak as well. His hair is as combed as Aiden's very strange curly complexion can be, and I feel like there's also some sort of head garb. I can't remember the word for it. It's not a tiara, but it might as well be a tiara. What's it called?
My brain's trying to say corset. Coronet?
Coronet, yeah, sure. There we go. He's wearing a little coronet to match the whole outfit.
Okay. And Aiden, as you sort of lift your head and open your eyes, you can see all of the villagers of Bunia surrounding the centre of the village where you are currently knelt, looked over upon by the 3 village elders. And in the crowd you spy this. You spy that kooky blue-scaled dragon scent, the one who's always kind of wandering around, rambling out people's fortunes and futures. You believe her name to be Cha'i, but you tend to kind of give her a bit of a wide berth because of her innate kookiness. But one of the Aevermoor elders kneels down to you. A Mother Pyre leans in and... Are you sure you're ready for this, child?
As ready as I'll ever be.
And she nods, kind of slowly lifts herself back up to standing and takes her a step back into her ritual spot. And Father Ob looks to you and, when you are ready, you may begin.
Okay. And I think with that, Aiden will stand using his staff and will start to kind of move his hands around to kind of summon all the magic he has within himself as he prepares for this terrifying moment, knowing that he's expected great things by the village, and very nervous as well, but I think that nerves is actually more excitement. He's ready. He knows he's ready.
As you begin the incantation, the summoning incantation, what does it sound and or look like?
I think it's quite silvery compared to, say, Vesta, who I assume is nearby. This is a kind of a more silvery, almost like when he works with ice. I feel like it is kind of very similar, like the use of air and ice as his hands trace across in front of him, like tendrils coming out of his hands and kind of building shapes in the air, kind of like white firework things as as the summon begins and starts to expand.
Okay. And as the shape above you, as the form above you begins to take shape, the tendrils of like silvery bluish light, that begins to warm in hue into this kind of bright, almost like daylight light. But you feel the air around you begin to chill as these tendrils begin to form into this large bird-like creature. And as this creature grows and grows, there is a point where you reach the critical mass, and with a keening, the 6 wings of Sharok fly open and sort of like straighten themselves out to the sun and sky above. And as Sharok lifts his head back, the crown placed firmly upon his head, the king of Kalathar looks down upon you with glowing eyes. And you hear murmurs of surprise and elation from the villagers around you. And as the 3 elders look up at their guardian world spirit, and then they look back down to you, Mother Paya smiles and, "You've done it, boy. You've done it."
I have, haven't I?
And as you kind of bask in the majesty of this summoned world spirit, as the sound of celebratory music begins ringing out from the villagers behind you, we move away to a far and distant land. It's a lot more chaotic. It's a lot busier. It's a lot louder here. There is a throng of screaming fans, cheering, dancing, singing along. And on stage is, on this stage overlooking the crowd, is the most physically beautiful man that you've ever seen. Designer stubble, a little quiffy quaff of hair, chiseled features as if from marble. And Jimmy Ricard places one foot on a box and tilts his head back and yells, "Thunder Mother!" And slams out a power chord on his lute, and the crowd goes absolutely berserk. As Jimmy begins hopping left and right across the stage, performing to the crowds, the flags, the banners of the Empyrium flutter gently behind him at this performance. And in the crowd of Imperials, we find someone who perhaps finds this sort of place, this sort of event, a bit raucous.
Yes, Portia is there, and she's very she's trying to be as close to the podium as possible to show support, but at the same time she just wants to hide somewhere a bit quieter, because my god, this is not really her scene. You're constantly sort of like being jostled by lots of by all of these kind of swinging, waving, adoring fans. You notice that many of them are clutching what appears to be some sort of like newsletter, some sort of, a magazine almost. You can see something about Bard's Weekly, a little bit. Portia knows it very well.
Okay, yes, but yeah, you can see a number of them are clutching those. Off in the corner of the stage, like peeking out from behind a curtain, you spy a familiar little goblin face, and as Ortho
Jimmy's tour manager, sees you in the crowd. He gives you a little wave. And as you're sort of like jostled from left to right by the crowd, you you feel like a hand tap you gently on the shoulder.
I turn around.
Behind you is a stern man with piercing green eyes and short-cut auburn hair. He looks peculiar out of his lacquered black armour. There you are, Portia. It was quite difficult to find you amongst all of these young people.
Thank God you're here. Can we please find a table or something?
Absolutely. Yeah. Here is your drink. I can't speak for its quality. Jimmy is many things, but I would never have considered him good at being a good judge of alcohol.
Alcohol is alcohol. Thank you, Gideon.
And Gideon places a hand on. His hand goes to hovers behind your back for a moment, and there's a moment of hesitation where he tries to figure out, where do I put that? And then he eventually settles just underneath your shoulder blades, as he leads you sort of away from the crowd. You see the last thing you see of Jimmy as you're led away is Jimmy is currently swinging his loop by the strap around his neck like a hula hoop.
Well, at least he's having fun.
Gideon looks actively wary of the environment. Is this normal for one of Jimmy's performances?
I hate to say yes. This is actually quite tame compared to what I've seen before. You couldn't make it last time, can you? But Desirous and we almost got into a bar fight. Some of these fans are vicious.
Perhaps some of them have the makings of becoming a Venator.
You could try, but, you're not supposed to talk about work when we are at Jimmy's gigs.
Gideon nods. My apologies.
Yeah, although, if you want to talk about work, then we could raise our glass to the new senior archivist.
Thank you. Yes. Celebrations are in order. What you told me that there was reason to celebrate. What has occurred?
I have just been promoted.
Oh. In your archivist role?
Yeah, I am now a senior archivist, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it does come with more responsibilities, and that means that in a couple of years I might try to apply to be a head of an archive somewhere in the country.
And with that, there might be the possibility of, after this life, is there an potential opening at this archive?
Why, yes, there is quite a big possibility.
Well, look at you, immortalized in one of the Empyrium's finest archives.
Yeah, really I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now.
Gideon smiles. Is it a weird look to see Gideon smiling?
It is a very strange look, even after all this time.
In which case, yeah, he smiles, and then you see his hand sort of lift from the table, and it hovers awkwardly for a moment. And then it slowly rests on the back of yours.
Yeah,
well done.
Portia's going to squeeze his hand back.
And he lifts the glass in his hand, and to Portia, he says.
Well, thank you.
And as you...
And to good company.
Gideon sort of frowns, turns and side-eyes Jimmy on stage, and...
No.
And as you both take a drink, Gideon, pulling a face at the poor quality of the liquor, we move away from your date to another location that is also quite busy and blustering, but the sounds of this location are a lot more whimsical. There's a lot more laughter. There's a lot of like excited squealing. I suppose that's the same. As a Jimmy Ricard gig. But we find ourselves in what appears to be a circus tent. And the crowd is currently cheering and clapping for the clown that is performing hijinks in the centre of the performance area. And Leif, describe to me what you've just done to kind of entertain the crowd.
Leif is doing a sort of like an act of picking up various things, starting to juggle them, and then pretending to like lose track of things and letting things fall on Leif's head, and then bouncing off, catching them again, throwing them back up, and looking cross also in the air and doing that sort of thing. Before ending it all with like a big sort of like a big pratfall, and everything comes tumbling down and on top of Leif.
Okay. And there is sort of like laughter and cheers from the crowd as you complete your as you kind of finish that little routine. As you look up into the crowd, you notice that there are a few kind of patrons that are sort of like looking at you and tilting their heads with a look of confusion upon their faces, almost, and sort of like looking around at their fellow circus goers to see if anyone else is presumably noticing this, and then kind of looking at you a bit more, as if they're scrutinizing you a bit more closely. But before long, the compare kind of thanks everyone for coming, and the crowd begins to filter out, and you are intercepted by a clown that, for anyone who was just watching, would have sworn was just performing. But this clown without makeup is currently wrapped in a shawl, shivering, nose naturally red and running with snot as if suffering from a horrendous cold. You did good out there, the Lorivar says.
Well, thank you. I learned from the best.
I have to ask, how long until I am feeling better, well enough to perform?
Well, we solved the mystery of the ice elemental, so it should now be any day.
And you're sure that this elemental isn't coming back anytime soon?
Oh, it shouldn't be. I rebalanced the elemental imbalance that was in the area, and now you'll be right as rain within days.
Good. Thank you again for coming to sort us out. It's if you wanted, you have a bit of a talent for learning things from other people quite quickly. There might even be a job here for you.
Well, thank you, but I'm needed elsewhere. You see, I travel in the leaf mill around the country, solving elemental imbalances with my pal Sebastian. And it's vitally important that I'm called away elsewhere in order to resolve all of these horrible events happening.
The clown who you've been impersonating sort of nods, and that's fair enough. You believe would have put me out of a job. So, well, you can feel free to stay as long as you like. I'm gonna go find some hot tea.
Yes, warm up by a fire.
And the clown nods and then sort of like pulls the shawl tighter. And as he sort of like shuffles away, you can see that his like the heels of his feet are still like iced. They're still they haven't transmuted back from the elemental attack.
So you like ice skate away.
Kinda, he's very awkward ice skate. It's like someone walking in ice skates. It's that kind of waddle to get away. And as you kind of look out at this circus carnival type place, is there a particular attraction that catches your attention?
Oh, I think there's a one of those roller coasters, like a wooden roller coaster that's been put together.
Okay. You hear a goblin, roll up, all aboard the next carriage, as sort of like punters begin, there's this long winding queue for this rickety-looking roller coaster, mocked up to look like minecarts. And as you join the end of this queue for a roller coaster, we move away to I'm gonna say a dance hall. Let's say a dance hall. It's a lot quieter in the daytime than it is at night, but sat on a bench just outside it, what is Ruvaen doing to pass their time?
Ruvaen will probably be very concentrated on leaves of paper, as they are music on there, and they're just trying to work out the piece they've been attempting to create, and is never happy with it.
Okay. As you sort of like look up from your manuscript and sort of like give a stretch, can you describe to me what the town that you're in looks like? Maybe its name, or like what the climate is like.
Okay, so this is their hometown, which is called Axela, and it is quite tropical, a bit warm, but with very verdant trees, and at least today it's cold wind coming through. That's why they're sitting outside and just relaxing and doing their thing. And it is so usually in the center of town it is quite lively, as there's a lot of traders coming back through the portal, in and out of the portal, for where there is a main portal to Aevermoor in the region. But they want to be in a nice quiet place, so they're a bit outside of that and in a more green area.
Okay. And as you look down at your music again, you notice a shadow sort of like pass over the pages, and as you look up, there is a familiar and friendly face of an elderly Aevermoor. There you are, Ruvaen. I've been looking all over from you, Mathriel says.
They're like, God. they are caught. So they're like, hi.
Yes. Well, whilst I am used to you doing everything in your power to avoid me, I did want to come to you this time with some good news.
Oh?
Yes. I have spoken with the other elders, and we have agreed that the world as it is wildly different to what it once was. And perhaps if the very foundation of Elsewhere can change, perhaps we as a community should change with it. If you so wish, we can begin a petition to have your path changed. If you don't want to be an accountant, we can find something else that appeals to you, he says, tapping the manuscript.
Ruvaen looks very suspicious at him right now. Like, kind of like narrow his eye a bit, their eye a bit at him, going like, Are you playing a joke on me? Are you,
Ruvaen, I have known you since you were born. Have I ever been known to tell a joke?
Okay, fair enough.
This will be new ground. This will be unheard of. I suspect there may be some resistance to it, but if you believe as strongly as I feel you believe, then perhaps you could be one of the first.
Well, no one has ever stopped me from doing what I want before. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Lathriel smiles, and no, slide on over. I used to dabble with a bit of music in my day. I might be able to help you. Is this what the kids are listening to nowadays?
Ruvaen's a bit shocked, like, really? Like, you? Out of all people?
And as Lathriel takes a seat next to you, you can hear the thwomp of like tourists, merchants, traders, visitors moving through the portal that connects your the town of Axela to Aevermoor and the rest of the rediscovered world. A community, a network of cities that, largely speaking, has known relative peace since the eschaton. Peacefully growing, and whilst there have been some bumps along the road, you heard that you remember a bit of a calamity in a town called Dorlashal about a year ago. Yes, the lands of Aevermoor are peaceful. Veronika, as you're heading to, as you're trekking across the plains of Kalathar to the mines that you're heading to, everyone's kind of got their collars and hoods pulled up to kind of fend off the strong wintry kind of blustery winds that are blowing through. In this moment, what are you most thankful for?
I think she's thankful for peace. And she's thankful to have found a place in her community that she hasn't felt for a while. She's been a roving sort of Ronin warrior basically all of her adult life. And even though she gets itchy feet and the desire to go out on one last adventure all the time, she does feel thankful that this is a decent way to spend the last chapter of her life.
Okay. Emma, you feel your hand squeezed, and Emil, as you look up, you see Emil looking directly at you. You seemed to be lost there for a moment. Was it a pleasant thought?
Just a spell of nostalgia.
Emil nods, and I have spoken to the other priests. I've liaised with the temples of the priests, the clergy of Barahan back in Aevermoor. And should we want it, we can find a replacement. I won't have to be stationed up at Mount Yuji, as was expected. That would give us the opportunity to go somewhere nice. Also, hello Raiders! Hi, welcome! Welcome to Explorers of Elsewhere. We're a TTRPG channel. We're playing Fabula Ultima, which is like Dungeons & Dragons meets Final Fantasy. It's amazing. Check it out. Yes, you've caught us in some deep, whimsical RP. How can it be deep and whimsical? What am I talking about? Oh, the pressure.
Sentimental. We are being sentimental.
Yes, we're being schlucky. Yes, Emil, we could spend the time going somewhere nice if that's what you want. Or perhaps staying here together.
I'm not sure what I want, Emil. There's a duty that I still feel towards these young people, and they pay my way. I am happy to do the work, but maybe somewhere nice. I don't really remember the concept.
Emil sort of like nods. Well, it's something that's on the table. I'm sure we can figure something out. Something that's best for both of us. First things first, though, we've got to make sure that these three return home safely. And he turns to the dragon scent, the keeper, and the sprite. And I'm sure between the two of us, we'll make sure everyone gets home.
I can handle it, Emil. You don't need to be here looking out for me or keeping an eye on me.
Emil sort of like gives you a look that says, like, you don't have to do this alone. And then the dragon scent claps you on the shoulder. And it's not long now until we get to the mine shafts. It should be relatively easygoing, although I think you might struggle with that flag of yours. The ceilings can be quite low, and luckily the rest of us are all small enough that we'll be able to navigate the tunnels. Your wolfkin friend here, this sprite, and I will be able to navigate the tunnels relatively easy, but do let us know if you get stuck. That flag effectively makes you the tallest person in the group.
Well, I might be able to set it down for a while.
The dragon scent nods, and he sort of like leaves you and MLB, and sort of like goes to join up with the sprite, the other person of this expedition, and then the four of you continue on towards the mine shaft.
And I, when he's out of earshot, I just go to Emil. What's that guy's deal? He's just constantly talking about these ceilings like I've never been in a mine shaft before.
Well, it's just everyone else here is... Like, we're all normal size, but you've got that sashimono attached to your back, and... I mean, the goblin mine shafts are they're naturally low clearance. I'd hate to be a keeper trying to go through these mines.
Yes, I'm familiar with tunnels and mines. I'll be fine. There's no need for you to go on about it as well.
Emil laughs and sort of like gives your hand another little squeeze. And then the four of you continue on towards the goblin town. Aiden, you look up at the impressive form of Sharok, this six-winged primal entity that looks down at you with this bird-like head with a majestic crown upon its head. And as the wings kind of slowly, they flutter almost like water. As it kind of hovers in front of you, basking you in its radiant glow. What are you feeling right now? Like, seeing now, knowing that you've just summoned the primal deity of Kalathar. What are you going to be able to achieve now?
Yeah, I think. So Aiden has only been kind of learning about being a summoner, about his connection to the world, to Kalathar, what he can do since he's been here, which is about, if I remember rightly, about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to, 4 years, so to be able to work with the village and learn and study and be able to do this, it's incredible to him. He's both very proud of the work he's been able to achieve and relieved that he's not embarrassed to the entire village, or embarrassed himself in front of the entire village, but also very humble because he knows, because of his connection to Vesta, that if this prime deity didn't want to be here, they wouldn't be here. As far as he is understood of his teachings. And so as he stands under this creature, he knows he is very much her servant, his servant. Just his head bowed, humble, in awe as much as anything else.
Okay. And how are you partaking in the festivities, the frivolities, like the celebrations through the village, as they kind of celebrate the rise of a new summoner within their population?
I think that's still very new to him. He's been here a while. I think he tends to keep to himself normally, but he's trying to get better with people. So there's probably a few people slightly older than him, or like kind of younger summoners who he's friends with, and the women who brought him up, I think they're eager to celebrate with him, and I think he is joining in a little, but he also has this like feeling of watching Sharok to make sure they're okay. Like he's not going too far away, but making sure he's still in the vicinity just in case he's needed.
Yeah, I mean, Sharok hovers over the village, his kind of primal majesty radiating out, and you know that like through Sharok's protections, the veil that hides Bunia away from kind of trespassing eye, the veil is stronger than ever, and Bunia as a village is safe. Even in this, in the land, even though the lands of Kalathar haven't been touched by aggressive forces since the eschaton, there's that feeling of safety, knowing that you're sort of like hidden from the world slightly, and you feel a kind of a rubbing, you feel a pressure against your shin, and you look down, and looking up at you is 3 eyes on a feline head as Vesta looks up to you, and in your head you hear her say, "Congratulations, Aiden."
Thank you, Vesta. I didn't think this was gonna. Well, I think it was going to work. I hoped it was going to work, but thank you for your help.
Vesta smiles. "I always wanted a brother."
Big brother or little brother? Because I've got a feeling.
Let's assume he's a little brother, Aiden. And Vesta sort of like slinks away from you and then turns to look back and kind of gives you a little head tilt. And as you follow your guardian world spirit back to the center, you watch as Sharok begins kind of lowering to the ground, and then one of the 6 wings extends out, and Vesta is able to jump up onto the feathered wing and be kind of lifted up into the air.
I watch, a little trepidatious, but also excited for her. I know we've not had a lot of opportunity to interact with other wild spirits. And, I've been able to integrate so well with the people here. He's optimistic for her.
And you watch as Sharok kind of brings his other 5 wings round, and it looks like it's a full embrace of Vesta. Like the largest hug, and you watch this diminutive cat kind of disappear from view, and as Sharok opens his wings, you see that Vesta is gone. But then you watch as Sharok's radiance begins to get brighter, and the blue tinge at the end of his wings begins to turn orange, and you feel this heat begin to radiate off him. And as you look up and marvel, well, are you marveling? It looks as if Vesta and Sharok have merged.
It's incredible. I don't think Aiden's heard of this happening before. He doesn't know if anyone else has noticed, but he's stunned. He's in awe.
You watch as Sharok's form ignites and begins roaring with this overwhelming flame, similar to Vesta when she is in sort of like protector, when she grows large herself. And you stand there, sort of like you have to almost close your eyes as the heat kind of radiating off Sharok is borderline oppressive. And you feel the power of Sharok growing and growing as the heat keeps rising.
Okay.
And as the villagers of Bunia turn to look at this metamorphosis, Gideon looks at you squarely in the eye, Portia. "I'm being serious now.
I mean, when are you not?
He tilts his head.
Sorry.
We have the entirety of the Empyrium to travel within. Where would you like to go next? What do you want to do before you head back to the archives?
Oh, that's a hard question. There's so many things.
Well, let's start with one. If you want, I could show you some of the sites in Deus Throna, some of the secret hideaways in the capital, or perhaps you want to go to the highlands to the east, or perhaps down to the coast of the west.
Tell you what, and she's going to reach into her bag, rummage it a little bit, like, where did I put it? She brings out a map of the Empyrium and says, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to point at somewhere in this map, and that's where we're going to go.
Gideon smiles, and a little chaotic for my tastes, but I think this could be quite fun.
Tell you what, next time you can choose.
Deal. And as you close your eyes and kind of jab your finger into this map, describe to me what sort of area you've pointed towards.
I think Portia is cheating a little bit because she really wants a seaside for a day.
Yeah.
So she does a little bit of a... So she tries to aim for somewhere.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah. I think it takes at least 2 tries before she hits something that's not just plain water.
Yeah, that's the sea, Portia. Okay, so yeah, you jab your finger, and it is a small archipelago just off the coast of the Empyrium. That's a bit of a tourist destination.
Gideon is going to hate that.
Yes. You see him clench on his teeth a little bit, but then if that is where you would like to go, that is where we shall go.
Thank you. I promise you next time we can go somewhere nice and boring and remote.
Gideon smiles. Thank you. I would appreciate that greatly. Portia, I hope you don't mind. Given that we were, this is such a auspicious event, he says, turning back to the handsome bard prancing around on the stage. I invited some of my friends to join. I heard they were in the area. I hope you don't mind if they join us. They can. I'm sure Ortho will be able to look after them to some extent.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. I would love to meet your friends.
Okay. And Gideon smiles.
Yeah.
And then
very quietly in the back of her head, like I didn't know Gideon had friends aside from us. So
from the crowd, a number of figures begin to emerge, and as you kind of look backwards and forwards, you notice that they're all wearing red and silver armor that denotes them as members of the Inquisition.
Ooh, they are creepy, just like you. I can see the appeal.
Gideon smiles, and please don't mind them. They are suckers for appearance and authority, so much like myself, I suppose. But they wanted to see what the average Imperial citizen gets up to in their spare time, and I was convinced that they would enjoy this. What would you say is the thing you most enjoy about being an Imperial citizen?
Ooh, we are getting philosophical tonight. Okay. I don't know, I feel connected to people. We all have the same understanding. I love that there is, we have this life we get to enjoy, and then there's something a little bit more after. And, I have read many, many books, and it does strike me as other places mostly fear death. I love that we are past that. I love that we can think of that as just something bigger waiting for us. that we are working towards something, grand.
Gideon smiles. Yes, the Emperor has blessed us with a glorious life and purpose. A glorious purpose in life.
Yeah. I don't take this the wrong way. The Emperor is amazing, and I'm glad he created this environment, but I think it's also the people of the Empyrium. Like, the Emperor guides us, but it's the people of our country that makes it really great. I think we are genuinely special.
One of the Inquisitors steps forward. She is a Lorovar woman. You can only see the bottom half of her face, like her mouth and jaw, like mouth and chin. Beautifully put, she says, and sort of like flashes you a smile, showing you her vampiric teeth. You really do care about the people, don't you, Portia?
Of course I do. It's hard not to.
So, tell me all about your cult. The Sundered Scale, I believe they're called.
Genuine confusion, what?
The draconic cult you're a leader of. Tell us all about it.
I wish I could.
The vampires surrounding you turn and smile, revealing their needle-like teeth.
Gideon, what's going on?
Gideon looks to you with a stoic, stern look. Leif, as you reach the peak of the roller coaster, and you do, as a tree person, do you feel like a stomach lurch as you go over the top?
I don't think so, but I'm definitely feeling more of the wind in the sort of leaves covering Leif.
Okay. You are surrounded by this chorus of screams as you go down this rickety roller coaster. Is it weird to be on a wooden roller coaster when you are yourself a dryad? Mother!
I mean,
as you go past.
It's one of those things where it seems a bit weird at first to Leif if you think about it, and then you kind of quickly get used to it because, kind of everything's made of wood, either wood or stone.
Yes.
So, and not very many things are made out of bones for some reason. It doesn't seem to be a very workable material.
Well, as you are sort of like flung around this minecart style roller coaster ride, what do you feel like? What do you feel has been your greatest achievement in the couple of years you've been sprouted?
I think Leif is proud of how much they've seen, how much they've travelled. Going from place to place, as I say in the Leifmobile, which we can establish the details of later. I'm trying to establish a spin-off, as interacted with, seen a lot of people, sort of learned a lot of things in quite a short amount of time.
Okay. Amazing. In which case, as you kind of have that thought as the wind rushes through your twigs and branches and leaves, you turn to the park visitor that's in the seat next to you, and a bark-like face turns to look back to you and kind of blinks at you with the same gem-like eyes that you have. You notice that they also don't have a mouth. They're waving their arms frantically, as the same as you, but obviously you've got no mouth, so your the woos are a bit quieter than normal. And as you sort of like turn to look, you realise that everyone on this roller coaster is a dryad.
Huh.
You can hear the creaking of the roller coaster. You can hear the creaking of the dryad's joints kind of all around you as they're flung from side to side, same as you. And the whooping and the calling begin to get louder as you go round. You pull into the station, and then immediately the goblin conductor scream if you want to go fast, and lets you you go straight through the station and begin another circuit. And when you turn to the dryad to your left, you notice them slumped. The gems in their eyes now dull. As you look around, you feel the groaning, the creaking of the roller coaster is getting louder and louder, and the cart seems to be taking turns and twists that it didn't seem to be before. And you find yourself on an upward incline, rising further and further and further into the sky. And as you turn to the passenger alongside you, you notice that they are sat back upright, but their eyes are hollow. There are claw marks in their face where a mouth should be. And the figure turns to look to you, their bark dried and ossified. And the figure tilts its head. And what's in your mind in this moment?
I think Leif is, I don't think afraid. Really just sort of curious, like, where is this going? What's happening here? Trying to figure things out.
Okay.
I think Leif is in that mindset, I think, of being a bit too young to be really afraid.
Okay. And as you climb further and further into the sky, and you find yourself almost kind of spiraling upwards, we find ourselves in the dance hall in Anksalar that evening. The hall is busy with partygoers and frolickers. And whereabouts on the dance floor do we find you, Ruvaen?
Ruvaen will probably be right into it, you know. Yeah, if they're gonna go into a dance hall, they're not gonna be sitting on a bench inside. They're going to be dancing and enjoying the music.
Okay. In which case, as you're dancing, obviously the lights of the dance hall are relatively dim to provide that atmosphere and ambience. But out the corner of your eye, you notice that there's when you notice something shift and change, but when you look, go to inspect it, you can't quite see what has changed. You just know that something's different. As you peer out, your attention is drawn towards the portal to Aevermoor. And you can't quite put your finger on why that's drawn your attention. It's open, it's kind of thrumming with energy as it always has. And you can still see figures kind of emerging from it. Many figures. There's a big surge of people coming through the portal. And as you turn away from the window, you find yourself in the dance hall is suddenly full with these people from the portal. They're already here, and Lathriel sort of like grabs your arm. Ruvaen, I've spoken to the elders, and we've decided that we want you to represent us.
What? Represent you where?
Angsilar is going to be a hub of the new world, of this rediscovered world, and we want you to be our mascot, the voice of the people, if you will. And a delegation of our new friends has arrived, and we thought it would be incredible if you could perform for them. You are the best dancer in the town, so we thought you could wow them with one of your performances.
I feel like at this point, Ruvaen is probably really weirded out by what's happening. Like they're probably really like just kind of you know how like when you're just in the middle of something and you're not sure what's going on and you're just kind of eyeing everything around you, but it's just like, what the hell?
As you look around, you can see these shadowy kind of silhouettes in the crowd, and Lathriel is sort of like still holding onto your arm, and he's like starting to gently push you towards the center of the dance floor. We need you to dance, Ruvaen. We need you to dance for our new friends.
Who are they?
And as you suddenly find yourself kind of in the middle of this dance floor, and the dance floor is empty. And as you look out into the crowd, in the shadows, you can see figures wearing what appears to be this silver armor. Dance for our new friends, Ruvaen. You must dance for our new friends.
No, who are these people?
A figure from the crowd stands up, and there is an authority that radiates from him. The figure takes a single step forward. You notice that he is not wearing the silver armor of the other visitors. My name is the Emperor, and I would love to see you dance. Veronika, you how are you getting on in this mineshaft?
Stubbornly.
Are you keeping the banner up, sort of like just kind of going sideways as best you can, or have you kind of taken it down?
No, it's on. It's the burden that I have to bear.
Okay, amazing. In which case, as you're going through, Emil turns to you, and are you doing all right, Veronika? Is there anything I can do to help?
Yes. Please just let me do my job.
Of course.
I can't focus on it when you're here, filling my mind with things.
My apologies. I'd heard from some of the locals in Harukaze that the mine shafts. There's a spot in the mine shafts that's actually quite beautiful, quite romantic. So I thought it would be fantastic for just the two of us to investigate it.
Emil, please just go home.
Emil looks to you and Veronika, are you okay?
Yes, I'm all right. We can talk about things when I get back from this job.
Emil,
And I think you should go and do your job as well.
what do you mean job, Veronika? What job are you doing right now?
I'm looking after these people, these explorers. They've hired me to be a healer and do my duty under Yara.
Veronika, what people? It's just the two of us.
No, Emil, this adventuring party, the keeper and the two sprites and the dragon sent. You barged your way into my work.
Veronika, it's just us. And as you turn to look, you realise that you're in a tunnel. A cramped tunnel. And it's just you and Emil.
Mm-hmm. And I think the staff which holds my banner scrapes against the rock, and as it gets narrower and narrower, it snaps.
As the banner pole snaps and clatters to snaps and the fabric bends to flops as the banner falls. As you instinctively kind of stoop to catch it, you take a moment. You turn as part of the motion, and you are in the tunnel on your own.
I think I draw my sword.
You hear a shuffled footstep from the darkness of the tunnel ahead of you.
Who's there?
You see a lacquered green armor. And Emil stumbles into the light.
Emil?
Emil slowly turns to regard you, his head lolling from side to side, his jaw hanging slack. And he starts shuffling towards you laboriously, arms limp at his side, head rocking from side to side, eyes glazed over.
I draw my sword fully in both hands, pointing it towards him.
You hear more feet from the darkness of the tunnel behind Emil, and as Emil lumbers forward, a hand is lifted as if to try to claw at you as he shambles towards you. And you know in this instance you cannot hear his heart beating.
And I think with a level of ease that she wasn't expecting, she puts her sword through him.
As you do, Emil looks down at the blade that has punctured his torso, and then looks up to you, grabs your shoulder, and begins to pull himself down the blade towards you. Mouth opening wider and wider as he comes in. Aiden.
Yep.
The heat rips across your skin. And the cheers and screams seem to be distorting behind you. And as you turn to look, you see Bunia aflame. Sharok hovers over the village, becoming brighter and brighter, the flames extending further and further.
I call out. Please stop. This isn't right. You gotta stop. You're supposed to be protecting the village. Please stop.
Sharok looks down to you, and whilst the face is impassive, there is a fury that is radiating from him. And you feel that Vesta is completely gone.
What's happening? Where is she? Why are you doing this?
You stand in the epicenter of Sharok's inferno, and you feel the flames spreading further and further. Bunia is incinerated, and it stretches further and further, and yet, whilst the heat blisters your skin, you feel like you can't move. And Sharok continues to look at you imploringly. And you notice what appears to be a large crystalline shard jutting through its chest. And you watch as Sharok's wings fall back, and it's not a... Sharok is no longer upright, but it's instead impaled over a large red crystal tower. And as the flames grow brighter and hotter, you sense a large shape swoop overhead and begin flying into your flying towards you at speed.
Aiden's like half sobbing, half screaming, trying to get Sharok to let Vesta go, to stop like trying to move, but he can't. And as this shape gets closer, he's in so much fear.
Portia. The Inquisitors smile menacingly at you. You will tell us everything about your heretic cult. You are a traitor to the Empyrium, and there are fates singularly worse than death for heretics such as you.
I am not a... Where is your proof?
The Inquisitors laugh in unison. And you've noticed at this point that the music has stopped. Jimmy is on his knees with what appears to be a sack over his head. Gideon gives you a mocking look of sympathy. It would be easier if you just complied, Portia, he says coldly. Where are the others?
There is no others. Have you lost your mind?
As you...
When would I have the time? I'm in the archive all the time. When I'm not in the archive, I'm with you. So by that logic, if I'm in a cult, you're in it too.
As you say this, there is a commotion from the stage, and you hear, "Get away from her! Get away from her!" And a shape leaps from the stage. And you watch as the goblinoid form of Ortho hurtles through the air towards you, Gideon, and the Inquisitors. And in slow motion, you watch as Gideon turns, rises from his chair. As he does, the lacquered black armor seemingly materializing over his form. The Reaper rifle in his hands, and with a singular pull of the trigger, a scream rips out and a bolt of light strikes Ortho in the chest.
Can I argue? Portia knows Gideon very well at this point, and she knows that movement. Can she fight him?
As you go to move, you feel as if your limbs, you feel like you're underwater and your limbs aren't moving right. This feels almost like a dream. And you watch and you find yourself helpless as you watch as Ortho is struck mid-center mass by the Reaper rifle and is flung back away from Gideon. And as he hits the stage alongside Jimmy Ricard, you see that he is a dried husk. And Gideon turns to you. This could have been so much easier, as he lifts the rifle to your head.
I'm gonna fucking bite him.
Leif, you find yourself climbing higher and higher, and you notice that the track, the roller coaster track, is now wrapping around you like a vine. And as you are, suddenly the cart is no longer, the dryads around you are no longer, and you are lifted to look up at this face that looks much like your own, but dried, ossified, dead. The eyes are hollow. There are tears in the mouth, tears in the face where a mouth should be. And the sounds of countless voices sing out as this creature that has you in its grip seemingly smiles. Is it not beautiful? The sound of my orchestra. Soon you shall join us. You shall play in perfect dissonance with us. Leif, how does it feel in this moment to know that you are about to be absorbed into the collective?
I think Leif is very confused about what's going on, first of all, and is kind of is looking around and is seeing this thing and is just trying to think of things to do to get out of this. Trying to cast spells. Maybe like I mean, this is a campaign that hasn't existed, but maybe some clown magic that Leif has learned in the...
As you go to cast, you realise that your limbs are now part of the wooden amalgamation that holds you. And you functionally, you are just, your head is almost like a knot of wood protruding from this lump. And you, whilst you have your own thoughts, you no longer have autonomy of yourself. It's like the face that you're looking at, this monstrous face, is now in control of your body. And you feel yourself, the face gets larger as it brings you closer and closer to its face, and the slits in its mouth begin to open wide, and it brings you closer to the darkness. And as you approach, you hear this loud, rhythmic flapping from behind you somewhere, but you're unable to turn your head to see what it is.
I think Leif would be sort of desperately pulling to the point of trying to tear off their own limbs.
Ruvaen, you find yourself stood in front of this silhouette. Dance for me, the Emperor repeats.
No.
You will dance, or they will all die.
Who is they?
There is a chorus of laughter from the shadowed crowd, including from the face of Lathriel. Everyone, the Emperor says.
So they, I think at this point, they would suddenly feel like anger, but like it's still unrecognizable to them where it's coming from. But they will still like look at whoever the Emperor who proclaimed himself the Emperor is. Well, I mean, he's a silhouette, right? Or supposed to be. So they can't really see his face, but like, what constitute as looking him directly in the eye as best as they could, and just say no.
The figure goes to take a step forward, and from behind you, Ruvaen, you hear, "They have spoken." And you hear the sound of a pair of wings flapping open to present a larger form. A green light begins radiating from behind you, illuminating the shadowed crowds, who seem to melt away under the emerald light. And as the silhouette of the Emperor points at you before fading away in the green light, you hear a voice in your head say, "I have you." Veronika, Emil begins. You find yourself frozen under Emil's grip, and as the mouth closes in on your neck, there is a bright emerald green glow from behind you, and Emil, this undead Emil, shrieks and shrinks away from the light, pulling himself back off Herya. As the undead kind of shy away from the light, you feel another hand on your shoulder. "I have you," you hear a voice in your head say. Portia, as you look down the barrel, look between the prongs of the Reaper rifle, you can see Gideon's one aiming eye looking down at you along the body of the rifle. And as you close your eyes and wait for the pull of the trigger, you feel yourself enveloped in a light, like something is wrapped around you. And as you open your eyes, you see what appears to be the inside of a large, dark green, leathery wing. And as you hear the sound of the shrieking as the rifle trigger is pulled, the shot dissipates across the outside of this wing as it protects you. "I have you," you hear in your head. Aiden, as you look up, the shadow flaps its wings, and the light from Shirok illuminates this dark green scaled dragon spawn. There is a large glowing ring around his neck and glowing rings around his wrists. The creature does not appear to have lower legs, but instead has 3 coiling tails of a sort. As this dragon spawn flaps again, Sharok's flames are diminished, and the dragon spawn lands behind you and cocoons you with his 2 wings. "I have you," he says. And Leif, you feel a talon wrap around you, and with a force greater than the undead dryad you're looking at, this claw pulls you away from the orchestra. You hear the sound of wood splintering as you're freed from this cocoon of sorts. And as the hand as the talon grips around you and you roll in the palm, you see this large draconic face that looks down at you. "I have you," the Dragonspawn says to you. And as you all find yourselves staring into the glowing green eyes of Baradut, you all wake with a jump on the coast of the sea. You can see a smoking wreck of the Imperial train in the water, the bridge sundered. You can see the shape of Alaris flying off into the distance, and it seems to be flying erratically as if damaged. And as you open your eyes, the sky overhead burn, like the light from the sky overhead burning your eyes, the chill of the cold and the water that clings to your bodies chilling you to the bone. Baradut looks down on you. "I have you," he says. Let's grab a quick break. We are going to disappear for 10 minutes, and when we're back, we're going to have a fun time. Cool. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure to hit the follow button. Jump into our Discord, have a chatter about that little dream sequence, and yeah, we'll be back in 10. Love you, boy!
See you in a bit.
Hello and welcome back everyone to Explorers of Elsewhere Live. Hi, my name's Dan and we have returned to make this full screen. There we go. We've returned to play some more Fabula Ultima. This is Explorers of Elsewhere Empyrium, the 4th campaign in the Elsewhere series. Hello gang.
Hello.
Hello. You all
Hello.
made it back. Hurrah.
Yay!
Yay! So, I'm sure Portia can absolutely bite someone in the second half. Yes, thank you to those of you watching us on YouTube and on Twitch. Hello, hello, hello. If you are a fan of TTRPGs or JRPGs like Final Fantasy or Legend of Dragoon, let's go with that one, or Octopath Traveler, or Expedition 33.
Okay, really sorry, but there's a box of cats. Cat tax, please.
Box of cats?
Box of cat. There's a box of cat.
Oh!
Cat in a box.
Cat tax. That's the cat tax.
Session derailed.
Oh my god, you were not joking. She is biting through that.
She loves biting the box.
That's facts.
Oh,
That's facts. If this isn't worth a subscribe or a follow, I don't know what is. Yes, absolutely. Like, subscribe. You'll get to see more of Lyra's cat in a box. Yes, we are going to carry on here now. We find the 5 of you in a between the 5 of you, your eyes slowly flutter open. And overhead are wooden beams holding up a relatively rustic looking ceiling, wooden roof. And as you sort of slowly kind of come to your senses, you realise you're all in what is effectively 5 beds in a kind of a shared dormitory style room. Who's the first to rise?
I will.
Veronika, as you sit up in your bed then, and it is like a well-made bed, you appear to have been transferred into sleeping clothes, like pajamas for all intents and purposes. But you can see your gear kind of neatly piled over on the far wall. Yeah. What's the first thing you do?
I'm going to look around and check that my party is here with me.
Okay. As you look left and right, you can see the other 4, Ruvaen, Aiden, Leif, Portia, beginning to kind of rouse from their respective slumbers. And you notice they're all in similarly prepared beds, and they appear to be wearing similar style clothing.
I'm going to get up and see if there's a window or something which can give me some context for where we are.
Yeah. As you kind of step out, your legs feel a little weak and woozy, like you wobble a little bit. It almost feels like you're walking on these legs for the first time, kind of thing. Like it's that kind of fresh, fawn-like wobble. And as you get to the window and peer out, you find yourself overlooking the town of Harukaze.
Oh.
Specifically, you all appear to be you see, as you look out, the Otera Abbey. You can see the Otera Abbey off to your left. You can see the portal off to your right. You can see yes, the cratered hole that is the town hall. the town hall, which appears to have been collapsed.
I wonder who did that. No one.
No idea.
No one. Who did that? Don't know. Don't know what that's about at all.
Yes, you are home. You can see remnants of the Imperial occupation. You can see some of their tents are still standing. You can see where the ground was churned up by their artillery fire. And artillery wagons. And in this moment, you realise that this is real. Like, you are here. But you see faces you recognise wandering about the plateau around the Otera Abbey, flanked by soldiers you don't particularly recognise. But they are all wearing the sky blue like tabards of Aevermoor.
I feel like Aiden maybe will kind of stir and wake up next and sit up and see Veronika looking outside and just be like, "Hey, are you okay? What happened? I'm trying to remember the train. We fell, right?
We're back in Harukaze, in a good way, I think.
Okay. How did we? And then I think about this awful dream that I was having. Did someone pick us up? Sort of.
Divine intervention, I suspect.
I will gently get out of bed and I'll check on Portia, see how she's doing.
Okay. How is Portia doing?
How do you check on Portia?
I think I'll just like get slapped. No, I think I'm gonna go like just gently very gently stand nearby and just gently say her name, because I'm not that familiar with her, but just want to make sure Portia, are you okay?
Yeah, I think.
He's a little boy. He's really tiny.
Yeah, I think Portia will very quickly sit up and go like poof. And because you are little, she basically pushes above your head. And what? Where are we? What? Oh, Aiden, hi.
Are you all right?
No.
Staring at where your fist almost hit me if I was a little bit taller.
Yeah, also, her face did turn a little bit silver.
Yeah, sure.
So
yeah.
she looks at you, and no. Are you?
Well, I think we're back in Harukaze. I gestured to Veronika at the window.
Is that... Wait. Have I lost my mind? Is it Harukaze where we were going from?
Yeah. But I think it's no longer occupied, right?
I don't know. Is it?
Portia, as you kind of peer out of the window, you see streets that you haven't seen in approximately 3 months. Fleeting memories of kind of fleeing through these streets away from Gideon, kind of sneaking between the Imperial patrols, using your nationality as a cover. But the streets have a different feeling to them now. They seem... Well, you tell me how they feel by comparison.
Honestly, I don't think Portia can tell the difference. Especially because, fresh from a fight, fresh from a bad dream, she is just very high-strung. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
She does look at her face and yeah, sorry about that.
It's okay. You're good. No harm, no foul, right?
Yeah. I don't normally do that when I wake up.
It's okay. I won't hold it against you.
Thank
Just
you.
glad you're all right.
And hey, we're alive.
Yeah. Guess we are.
Oh god, what a low bar.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it?
Portia, who do you turn to check on between Ruvaen and Leif?
Leif. No shade.
Leif, as you're like rousing from unconsciousness, is your like psychic filter, like projection, is that a subconscious or a conscious thing?
I think it's a subconscious thing, but as Leif is also unconscious, it's not active. I was, as part of, speaking a little bit mechanically, as part of my level up, I was thinking that when Leif rouses, I think everyone nearby and is conscious starts getting sort of flashes and images in their mind of people Leif has mimicked in the past, Leif's origins, the dream, the clown frozen in a block of ice, the roller coaster, the big scary dryad thing. All of these, you are assaulted by these visions as something within Leif is developing.
Portia, what do you make of that as you rouse Leif?
I slap him.
Ow.
Good morning. Please stop that.
Stop what?
Oh god, I don't know how Portia would explain this. Because she had similar powers before, but it was all through ghosts. So she was like, the possession thing that you are doing, can you please stop it?
And Leif is very confusing. Possession?
Yes, but okay. You know the projection that you are doing?
Leif is thinking about it. And
Yeah, like I assume because, you know, we went through a lot and you just woke up, I understand, you know, everyone's control is a little bit weaker at that point, but really not the time, really not, no one's in the mood for it. Can you please just stop?
Leif is sort of going to sort of focus on the here and now. And I think his visions will sort of fade away from everyone and sort of normalcy returns.
Thank you. That's appreciated. Sorry if I'm being up short, but it's been a long day.
It has. Sorry. I didn't know I was doing something.
Oh, do you want if you want to work on your shield later together, I have some pointers.
Yeah, where are we?
Apparently Harukaze.
Oh. If it's out the window.
This will be the first time you've been to Harukaze? Well, second time.
Apart from in the very recent past.
How does it look different to you this time?
I think Leif would notice more of the wildlife. I think a lot of it was maybe suppressed. It was like sort of filth and dirt and sort of pollution.
Yeah.
And while a lot of that, I imagine, is still there as the town is sort of recovering, there are sort of glimpses of life already starting to sort of breach through the cracks.
Yeah, you feel that it's almost as if life is returning to Harukaze. That's kind of how it feels. So as you remark that, Ruvaen, you are the last to rouse yourself. What's the first thing that kind of springs to your mind as you sit up?
I think they probably woke up with a start because, like, you know, how the dream left off was quite sudden for them, especially because, like, there was a lot of rising emotion as well. So yeah, they woke up like kind of gasping and was just very confused, trying to make sense of the surroundings and like coming out of that, I suppose.
Okay. What's the first thing you do as you wake up?
Probably trying to work out where they are. Just look around, and you know, obviously by now everybody's already awake, so they can see that everybody's here and up and about and alive. And they're probably trying to shake like that hastiness out and just ask, like, where are we?
As you ask this, the door to your room opens, and through the door steps a familiar Wolfkin man. And Brother Emil looks to you, and you're home, he says. I'm glad to see that you've all awoken. We were worried for a short while. It was a bit touch and go.
Emil. Thank the gods you're okay.
Emil nods, and yes, I couldn't bear to think of what would happen if we had lost you.
How long have we been out?
It's been about a day or so. While you've been resting, the rest of us have been assessing the damage that the Imperials have wrought on this town. We are confident that we can restore Harukaze to how she was. How are you all feeling? You I say it was somewhat touch and go.
I mean, can we have a bit more information on what happened exactly?
Emil kind of shuffles slightly from foot to foot. It might be best if you hear this from Elsebeth or Baradot. I partially came to check on you because, now that you're awake, they would want to speak with you as soon as you can.
Of course I do.
They're waiting for you on, well, I suppose it's the new ledge that looks out over the rise. It would seem that the Imperials have excavated a new staircase in the side of the hill. Yes, they're waiting for you there.
But have they been standing there for the past day, just waiting for a dramatic moment for us to wake up and go there?
Whilst Elsebeth isn't usually one for theatrics, but our new visitor...
That's a lie. That's a lie, and you know it.
Elsebeth isn't one for the theatrics, but our new visitor seemingly is. Oh, I'm lagging.
Okay, well, we can get ready and meet her, I guess.
Yeah, I think we can start going. Veronika, if you want to go make up with him for a little bit, join us later. And then
I'm sorry,
Portia,
what?
out she goes.
I would like to have a quick word with you in private, actually, Emil.
Of course.
Told you so.
As are the other four of you filtering out to give Veronika and Emil some time?
Alone
Yeah.
time.
Leif nods, pretending to understand, saying, "Yes, time for you two to make out."
Emil is getting redder and redder.
Sometimes I forget how young Leif is, and my God, we are not setting a good example. Just teaching all the bad habits.
Moments later, Veronika, you find yourself alone in the in this. You realise you're in one of the inns at the top of the like on the plateau of Harukaze. Hence the sort of like the shared dormitory style bedding. But yeah, as the door closes and it's just you and Emil, they are a rambunctious lot, aren't they?
Yes. Find myself in old company.
What is it you wanted to talk about?
I had a bad dream and you were in it.
Oh, my apologies.
Emil, what is it that you want?
That's quite a question, Veronika. What do any of us want, really?
I don't think I have wants. I have drives and I have duties and I try and make them work in harmony. But let's say we win this war that we're fighting. What then? What do you want from me?
Emil's eyes open wide and he looks up to you and I want you to be happy, Veronika. I want you to feel loved. I want you to feel like you belong.
I don't know. I'm not sure I know what that is. All I know is my faith, and Yara doesn't teach about love and romance and all those things. It's just war and it's just peace. So maybe what I want is peace.
Emil kind of drops his head and then he kind of takes a seat on the bed alongside you. Yes. I could do peace.
You might have to leave me in it.
How so?
I don't know. But in this bad dream that I was having, I was confronted by you. Some nice place to go together and wants that weren't my own. I'm so used to helping other people figure out what they want or navigate conflict and war and times of trouble. I've never really thought about it for myself. maybe I just need a priest.
Emil smiles. Maybe you also need a second chance. The opportunity to start again. And certainly by Barahan's grace, I feel like you have it. You have your second chance. Let's win this first, shall we? And then we can have peace. Together, perhaps.
Perhaps. Do you have me, Emil?
Emil smiles and nods. I have you. But as he says it, it somehow feels different to the memory of those words in your head.
I'm going to catch up with the others.
Emil kind of looks a bit sheepish for a moment, and then kind of gently places his hand on the back of yours.
I let him lean in and give me a kiss, but then I sort of visibly get a bit of the ick.
As you recoil away, he kind of jumps back and... I'm glad you're okay, Veronika.
Going to do my duty.
Emil gives you a somewhat sorrowful smile, and yeah, you leave him, like as you leave the room, he remains sat on the bed, just sort of like looking at his hands. We catch up with the rest of you. Are you heading straight to like the overlook, like the ledge? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you pass the portal, you find that yes, the stairs. There's this kind of natural stairwell that's been carved from the hill. It's the one that you ascended to get to the plateau because there is the large crater on the rise that is sort of like blocking it. But you know that this ledge overlooks that crater, which Ruvaen, Veronika, you know is the site of Kaya's last defiant act during the attack, the Battle of Harukaze. But as the five of you kind of make it onto this little, like this ledge that overlooks it, you see that there are 4 figures already there waiting for you. And as you turn, as you arrive and the 4 figures turn to you, you spy Elsabeth, Baradut, but then you also spy 2 new faces. A silver white-haired Lorivar man dressed in the regalia of a wizard, you would argue, and a goblin warrior she wears a wide brim kind of rice paddy like hat, and there appears to be a long handle, the handle of a long blade strapped on her back, but the handle is bladeless. She wears this purple cloak. She has this kind of lilac pink hair that frames her dusky green skin, and a swishing tail with a lilac pink tuft at the end of it. Elsabeth looks to you and like her eyebrows raise with a sort of like a shock and excitement, but then it's almost like she catches herself and then kind of brings herself back down to a level and kind of returns to her stoic normality. Baradut looks at you impassively and smiles. The silver-haired Lorivar, I see you're awake. I trust you're feeling better, the five of you.
Who the fuck are you?
Yes, quite. My name is Archmagister Meridius Radan, Regent of the city of Aevermoor. I trust from your accent you are Portia?
I'm gonna stop talking now, Ruvaen. And Portia actually grabs Ruvaen and puts them on front.
Meridius has
what's
put
with
a
the
hand
people?
out and to like shake your hand, Portia, and then like Ruvaen, you're just pushed into this handshake. Ruvaen, was it? Yeah, you must
Yes.
be Ruvaen.
Hi.
I am very pleased to meet you. I'm glad you are well. The wizard kind of looks across the rest of you, and I would wager that you are Aiden, you must be Veronika, and you must be Leif.
Hello.
You see kind of Meridius squint at you a little bit, Leif, as if, and sort of like tilt his head, and then marvelous, spectacular. Well, I'm glad that you, I'm glad that you are all safe and well. I understand that you've had quite a eventful few days.
Let's put it
That's-
mildly. Yeah.
An understatement.
Well, we won't keep you for too long, but please accept my apologies for our delay. Thanks to your efforts a day ago, we've finally been able to reinforce you, and I'm pleased to say that Harukaze is now firmly under Aevermoor's control again. It sounds like we have you to solely thank for that. So,
Well, actually, you should be thanking Veronika. We couldn't have done it without her.
Is that so?
Very much so.
In which case, Meridius holds a hand to his sternum and sort of like bows. I'm in your debt, Veronika.
Please. I had a key in my head and I used it on a lock.
You would be intrigued to see how many people would not make that association. It's quite spectacular. But yes, I applaud all of your bravery and your determination. I know that these last 3 months will have been heart-achingly difficult. So, again, I thank you. But, unfortunately, this war is not over. This was but the first victory over the Empyrium. And from it, I'm hoping that we can capitalise. I've been conversing with Elsabeth here. She seems to have been doing a fine job of leading this resistance, and the fact that you have befriended such a powerful ally with Baradut is worthy of note. My apologies, I have not introduced you to our new companion, he says, kind of gesturing a hand to the goblin woman. This is Akaida. She was a warrior of Ruma Hironobu, of the Sakaji dynasty. And it would seem that some of your companions have tracked her down in the tundras.
Our mysterious wandering Ronin.
Akaida kind of looks to you and just slowly nods, and like her face disappears behind the large brimmed hat she wears on her head. And she sort of like, you notice her kind of studying you all one by one as if she's assessing you individually. Akaida here has agreed to lend her aid to our cause. I believe she may become useful in the coming days or weeks. Perhaps I should cede to Elsabeth here. I believe you have an idea of what is next for our heroes. And Elsabeth nods. She steps between Meridius and Akaida, sort of like amongst the five of you, and as she regards you each in turn. You made it out, she says.
We did.
I am glad that you are here to fight another day. I think we would have been lost if we had lost you. So, unfortunately, we don't have much time to celebrate, and I must throw you back onto the front lines, but I hope that now that we are reinforced by Aevermoor, we can bring this war to a swift end. There are two theatres, two strongholds of imperial control within Kalathar. We know that the 6th Legion occupy Mount Yuji to the south, and the 2nd Legion are infesting Ruma Hironobu to the west. I have been instructed by the Archmagister to remain here in Harukaze to organize the military forces as best I can. And we will take the other members of the resistance. Between the other members of the resistance and yourselves, we can strike the Empyrium on both fronts. But I will cede to you where you would like to go. To Ruma Hironobu, the capital of the Sakaji Goblins, or to Mount Yuji, home of our dragons.
We've learned that the Empyrium is targeting both. They're both a powerful source of soul energy that they are trying to commandeer using this Project Eclipse.
Yes, I've heard about this Project Eclipse. Meridius pipes up. It's frightening what I've learned of it so far. It seems like a devastating weapon. If the Imperials are able to release it, I'm not sure the recipient will be able to recover. I understand from Elsabeth here that Ruma Hironobu has been a bit of a thorn in our side ever since this conflict broke out. Their supposed neutrality has forced us to stay out of their city limits, even whilst they court the attentions of the Imperials within their walls. They said that to let us through their portals would be tantamount to military action, which would void their neutrality in this conflict, and therefore open themselves up to retaliation from the Empyrium. I somewhat understand their trepidation, but for them to so flagrantly be fraternizing with the Imperials is concerning.
We have the names of 3 goblin collaborators. If the government there really do wish to maintain neutrality, perhaps we can go and give them an olive branch.
That would be greatly appreciated. My concern is that the portal between Aevermoor and Ruma Hironobu stays open, and where this neutrality that the goblins claim they have, that is the only thing from stopping the Imperial forces within the city from making it into Aevermoor direct. I fear that there are factions within the Goblin capital that are not entirely pro-Aevermoor. If you are able to root these out and secure the portal to our city, that would be greatly appreciated. It would also deal a grievous blow to the Imperial forces still within Kalathar.
Above table,
Yes.
just to check. How much have we been told about Bill from Ruvaen? As Ruvaen wax lyrical about how much she hates this man.
Surely
mean,
they must have.
I feel
Wait,
like
wait.
it's happened, but I just wanted to check before it got mentioned. And go.
I mean, I guess this is for one thing I joked about. I kind of wanted to be something that actually happens, is that they actually have a target with like a badly drawn bill in their room. In which they have, because they're not really a martial person, they're very much a mage, so they have been like practicing punching it, so they can get the right swing when they finally get to the guy, and sometimes also stabbing it, but so I assume someone may have asked at one point.
In which case, it does feel like Aiden, hearing this, will look to Ruvaen and be like, well, you can finally get hold of Bill, right?
Like, you could kind of see their eyes narrow, and like the Kill Bill theme. Like, in the background.
Like, at the mention of Bill's name, you see Elsabeth's face visibly sour. But she sort of like, well, she nods at the idea that you could get Bill. You could perhaps even kill Bill. The alternative, Meridius continues, is to head to Mount Yuji. There is a lot of latent power kept within that mountain, so it worries me greatly that the Imperials are foraging so thoroughly there. But, as Elsabeth has said, wherever you decide to go, the rest of the Resistance will go to the other, to attempt to deal with the threat there. A two-pronged assault.
Can I also ask a question? We have two lots of intel that we have not spent yet.
Yes.
And I was curious, in regards to that, how much we actually know about Mount Fuji so far. What have we learnt?
So functionally,
because I think that's quite important. Yeah.
Yeah. Functionally, the intel is a token that you can spend to ask me a question about.
Okay.
Stuff.
Sure. Okay.
So if you want to spend an intel to ask me a question, and that's something you found out.
We probably will have some information, mainly because Veronika and Ruvaen survived that whole ordeal. So at least, like, what happened then.
But if
we
there's
can
any new
probably
information about Mount Fuji is the question that we've learned from the archive, because I think that's where we got that intel from. If anyone doesn't mind me using one of our triangles, because I think it's important. So yeah, can we use a slice of pie to ask about? So what intel have we learned about Mount Fuji since in recent days? Not like so.
I will request that you ask a targeted question.
Targeted question. Okay.
Like, what do we know about X?
Well, considering if we work from info that Veronika and Ruvaen would have already been able to impart, you would probably know about what happened there with the world spirit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe you can go from
Well,
there and see if you can get
yeah.
a specific question.
What can you tell me about the world spirit on Mount Fuji? Is that specific enough?
So you will have found out that there are reports of a world spirit that is just kind of roaming the top, like the peak of Mount Fuji, and it is seemingly working with like allied to the Imperials, because it is not attacking them. And off the back of this, I suspect Veronika and or Ruvaen would have collaborated that. Yeah, that tracks, because an Imperial Venger summoned the thing and created an avalanche to wreck us all.
Okay.
But yeah, that is now just loitering around, like as a god-sized guard dog.
Yeah.
A guard god.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, it's frustrating. I think Aiden personally, above table, would want to go to Mount Fuji because of the world spirit problem. Because I feel like a world spirit is quite dangerous left unchecked. And I think also with his bad dream he just had about being attacked by Shirok, it's probably quite fresh. This idea of like a rogue world spirit or something like that could be bad.
I will caveat that the crystal tower that Shirok was impaled on looks very
one.
much like Zuros.
Which is on the way to the other place, right? Oh man, there's too many world spirits there. Okay. I mean, either way, I'm still going to be dealing with the world spirit. So in terms of above table, Aiden is still going to hopefully interact with Shirok or the other bod. So above table, Aiden's happy to go whichever way.
Okay.
He's just concerned. He's concerned either way. So he's happy to.
Well, Elsabeth kind of wheels round to the five of you. So where would you like to strike next? Hiranobu or Mount Yuji?
I mean, Ruvaen is very easy. It's going to be Ruma Hironobu because they have a
School cell.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching, Bill. You're watching.
Okay. So Ruvaen wants to go to Hironobu. Where's Veronika want to go?
I think she looks to Elsabeth and says, "I'm sorry, Elsabeth, but I don't want to climb that mountain again. I'll have to leave it to you." I think there's better work for us in the Gold City.
Elsabeth nods as you declare for Ruma Hironobu. What about Leif?
I think Leif would be curious about the wild spirit problem in the same way that Aiden is. But at the same time, really wants to go see the gold statues. So would be a bit torn. I would probably go with the group consensus, I think.
Okay. So, Goblin, either. Where's Portia going?
If Elizabeth asks Portia, and where do you want to go? She's going to go. It is so important for me that you know that I am retaining none of this. I am so tired. I am so angry. You are saying so many words.
Meridius kind of... My apologies, this is partly my fault. I've been quite eager to see an end to this chaos.
Excellent. Then be leaders. Tell us where to go.
Meridius sort of like turns to Elsabeth and, please don't take this for selfishness or self-consideration, but I am extremely worried about the portal between Ruma Hironobu and Aevermoor. If that is breached by the Empyrium, the enemy will have a direct route to the heart of the rediscovered world. And I can only imagine that the force that was sent here was but 3 legions of from what I gather, their full 10. So I dread to think what devastation they could unleash on Aevermoor if they get the opportunity. If I would be so bold, I would heartily appreciate if you could secure Ruma Hironobu first. If nothing else, you can then ask the goblins to aid you in the final push to oust the Imperials from the mountain.
I'm good with that.
Meridius kind of looks to all of you to see if you're all okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Well, as Elsabeth has said, I would prefer for her to stay here in Harukaze to lead the resistance as she has expertly for the last 3 months. But it would. I trust the 5 of you to go alone, but as I understand it, Baradat, you are interested in accompanying our heroes? And the Dragonspawn steps forward in his humanoid guise, and I would. These 5 are critical to the safety of this place.
Great to have you. Thank you.
The Akaida kind of turns and looks at Baradat and sort of like takes a step back to stand alongside him. I hope you don't mind. Akaida here is going to accompany me and act as my personal bodyguard. This will mean that you will not need to worry about my well-being whilst you are doing what it is you will need to do within the city. Akaida here was once one of the Bayankari, one of the personal bodyguards of the Raja of the Sakaji dynasty. Her skills are impressive.
If you look closely, Portia's eyes are glazed over.
More words.
She's a fucking librarian, and she is just like information overload.
Well, Meridius, seeing your 1,000-yard stare, laughs, and my apologies. It seems that the matter is settled. We will make provisions for the rest of the resistance to reinforce our forces into the south, allowing you to head to Ruma Hironobu. Please understand that I won't really be able to send much in the way of military force to aid you within the Goblin City because of the Goblins' neutrality. But as 5 agents, independent agents, I feel you will be able to get into cracks and hidden places much better than we ever could. That's it then. We are at an agreement. Thank you once again, heroes. You have saved Aevermoor more times than you know. And with that, Meridius nods and sort of like takes a few steps. Elsabeth follows him. You see Elsabeth kind of look to the 5 of you, and then she kind of looks away almost kind of sheepishly, like guiltily. And then the 2 of them are gone.
Why is she Why is she looking sheepish and guiltily? Ruvaen is wondering that.
Do you want to... Well, it's... we are almost 3 hours into the session, but let me quickly say, everyone gain a Fabula point for starting a new session.
We got Fabula points. Oh my god.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah, answer.
For those of us who had their nemesis appear in their dreams, does that also grant a Fabula point?
Don't do the tongue thing, dude.
The rules do say if your nemesis appears in a scene, it doesn't say anything.
Was
about
it the
context.
nemesis, or was it an illusion of your nemesis in your dream state?
Well, now you're
That's a philosophical
raising
kid.
questions about the what is
Give her one
reality.
die. She's got 1 or 2. I've got 10. She can have.
Well, I'm going to be a big meanie and say no in this moment in time, but hold on to your butts. Hold on to your butts. No, because it's a dream, and you forget your dreams, don't you? So you kind of remember.
I don't think anyone of us will forget that particular dream, dude.
Not yet. Not yet. Yes, Baradut approaches you, and I will give you some time to prepare yourselves before we head west. Come seek me out when you are ready to go. And he and Akaida kind of break away from you and disappear into the town. I think, very quickly, because we haven't done it for a while, starting with Portia, because this is effectively a long rest. Who are you bonding with? Who did you bond with over the last few episodes?
Aiden?
Aiden. Okay. How did you bond with Aiden?
Very nicely.
So you already have a bond of affection with Aiden.
Yeah, actually. Because I already have a bond with Aiden, I think the bond I want to go for is with Ruvaen.
Okay. But
And and it is a bond of mistrust.
Don't you already have that?
No,
I have that.
I know you do.
I'm surprised that you didn't also already have that.
You know what? Actually, what makes more sense, and I know this is a strong word. But I think hatred actually makes more sense.
Yeah, I feel like that makes more sense as well, to be
Yeah.
fair.
So yeah, a bond of hatred with Ruvaen.
bond of hatred.
Like
Okay.
through this journey so far, Ruvaen has not painted a good picture of themselves for Portia.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, so that's Portia. Who's Veronika bonding with?
I am not sure.
We can come back to you if you like.
Yeah, let me have a think.
Okay. Who's Leif bonding with?
I think Leif and Portia have had some moments in the last few episodes. So I'm gonna say a bond of maybe loyalty,
Okay. With Portia.
like a sort of positive sort of thing going on there.
Amazing. Aiden. Who's Aiden shacked up with?
Don't
Don't say it like that. I was going to say admiration for Veronika, I think, after everything they did to help with the portal, and really seeing them as someone who can lead. And
Yeah.
also Aiden is also a bit like Leif, a baby. So, I think he needs that in his life. So yeah, admiration for Veronika.
Okay. Admiration for Veronika. And last but not least, wait, have we done? Oh, Ruvaen. Who's Ruvaen linking up with?
I don't know.
Is 6 the max you can have?
Yes.
Okay.
6 different people, I believe.
Yeah, you can do new bonds within the bond though.
And I think you can overwrite old bonds.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I'm gonna whilst they're thinking, I'm gonna pop a loyalty in for Ruvaen, because I think that they were the one who like persuaded me most to go on that mission and not wait for any more danger. Like they were more concerned about my safety than their own.
I also want to point out to you guys that, but I think by the rules, you can have a bond with a place or an object too.
This is true.
So technically speaking, you can have a bond with Harukaze.
That's cool.
Just put,
I will
FYI.
offer, as compensation for my meanness during the Act 1 finale, if anyone wants to form a bond with Harukaze, and the flavour of bond is your choice, I will give that to you for free, but bear in mind you'll need to make room for it.
Yeah.
If you've already got a full roster.
Sorry, Kaya.
Bye! You say, looking at her crater down below.
Goodbye, Kaya. Goodbye.
She's not in this series.
Also want to remind people that the player of Kaya is also online. Fine.
Yes, so you can absolutely have a free bond with Harukaze if you so wish.
I would like to have a bond with the train we destroyed.
Oh yeah, is the train okay?
Yeah, a bond of
Train
grief.
is not okay.
Very much not.
Train is
They don't swim very well. They don't float. Yeah, savage. So,
Can we get a new train?
if you ask the Imperials nicely, I'm sure they'll give you another train.
Put it on the to-do
Noted.
list.
Yes. So, is there any is there anything sort of like that you guys want to do in Harukaze? I appreciate we are kind of close to time, but
I think Portia at this point is very obviously like pacing back and forth and just very, very visibly twitchy,
okay.
and is looking at her 4 companions and just murmuring to herself like, no, maybe not, maybe not.
Bear in mind, you can spend Fabula points to get someone to monologue.
I've only got one.
We have no Fabula points, dude. Like, you are
JC, go!
so stingy with them.
JC, the bank of FP.
I'll spend 4 Fabula points and everyone can have a monologue.
I mean, if you want to. One change I am making is that if there are like leftover Fabula points that have been spent at the end of a session, because normally you only get 1 extra XP if you use 5. But if there are any left over, I will bank those and roll them into the next session, so you won't waste any Fabula points going forward. But yeah, that's a little heads up. Yes, Veronika, are you legit spending 4 FP for 4 invoke monologues?
If people want to do them, then anybody can.
I feel like that's a waste of
have
Fabula
one on
points at
me.
this point.
I think we should get one for Portia, mainly because
You don't need to spend a Fabula point for Portia. Portia is going to start monologuing at one of you guys at any given moment. The question is, who is
It's a 5th of an
brave
XP,
enough to
Portia.
approach her?
Well, Aiden was almost like stabbed by her earlier, and I didn't die. So I think Aiden's gonna be like, "Are you sure you're okay?"
No? No, I mean, are any of us? we have been bouncing around doing so many crazy things. And we are being told that the war is going to end very soon, but I'm honest to God, do not really see how that's possible. We are still overwhelmed. We don't really know how to deal with something like the Emperor, who is, by the way, in my fucking mind and occasionally jumps in and just knows what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know how to shield from that. I don't even know if this thing is going to start spreading and maybe killing me. And Ruvaen is just turning into a murder hobo, gleefully just killing people, which is gonna give me nightmares, I think. And Gideon is just out there. He can come at me at any given moment. He could actually be in one of these fucking buildings, as far as I know. And Elizabeth and the rest of them are just out here posing like they are some important people and giving us the illusion that we have a choice in doing something, when clearly there is an agenda. Clearly we need to go somewhere very specific. They are just being cowards about it. They want us to feel like we are some kind of big fucking heroes, when at the end of the day we are pawns who they will gladly see die, and it doesn't really matter. And I'm really, really tired of people pretending like it's something else. Veronika is over there so fucking traumatized, I can barely look at her sometimes. Ruvaen, let's not go there. Leif is normal. Actually, Leif is kind of a breath of fresh air. You're also traumatized out of your mind, and I feel really sorry for you. And sometimes I just feel like crying when I look at you and your cat. I think I need a drink.
I mean, that was a lot.
I
Maybe
also had a
we
dream
should.
when I was dating Gideon, and that was really upsetting.
You know what?
Leif
I'm not
is
sure.
normal and is a bit like, oh.
I mean,
I am really sorry. I am not normally this emotional. I am also realizing there's a lot of information I just missed out on, and that kind of goes against everything I stand for.
it's been a
Were
real
there-
tough time.
Were there any zingers in that might have shocked anyone?
Yeah, a little bit.
Ruvaen is not listening at the moment.
Who is this thing? Is it just
Well,
Aiden and Leif at this moment?
They,
Is Veronika there?
I'm
at this
listening.
point, they're a bit distracted by the crater, the Kaya crater.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Portia is not quiet.
Sorry to have to ask, but did you say the Emperor was in your head?
Yes? I told you on the train now. We talked about this before, right? I am not completely losing the plot here.
No, we did talk about it.
Yeah, basically Ruvaen is the only one who didn't know at the time because
Yeah,
they were
maybe
in another room.
maybe Ruvaen should pay attention.
I think, to be fair, I think Leif went to the front garage and told Aiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we kind of the thing is though, because from at least just the thing that you were saying, we already knew that ish from the card game, so it's not
Yes.
news. The news would be
Yeah.
that the reason why we were that the Emperor actually came to Portia in the train, and then found out about our plans. That would be news to them. So at this point, they would probably not really notice much because they already know bits of that.
But this is a really crap situation, and we are all tired. We have been out for the count for a day. We crashed a train. We did so much. My brain is also really muddled, and it's been mad. And we've still got stuff to do. And like you say, I don't believe this war's going to end anytime soon. But you know what? I think a drink sounds like quite a nice idea.
Yes, I think
Just something a little bit normal, just before we have to not be normal again.
Yeah. I think the point I'm trying to make is that we are being thrown at problem after problem after problem, and there is no time for us to actually be prepared. We can't just keep doing this. We are going to break. Like, I haven't been here for that long, obviously. I haven't known a lot of you for that long, but if at one point we need to actually sit down and talk about all the things that are going on, because if everyone just keep shoving their problems deep down, we are going to break as a team collectively. Leif cannot be the only not, I don't want to say normal because that's not the word I'm looking for. Leif cannot be the only mentally healthy person in the group. That's too much to put on a 3-year-old.
I'm only 3 years old.
That is not helping, but thank you.
I mean, I've only been in Kalathar for about the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I'm still trying to figure out how things work. And
I just think that a lot of us, we need to sit down, need to have a drink, and we need to have a shouting session. You know, when everyone is allowed to shout about, do what I've just done. Like, honest to God, I actually just, I feel much better. Please don't bring your religion into this.
Is there a silence on the ledge overlooking the crater on the rise?
Yeah, they're very distracted. Because they haven't seen it yet. This is the first time they've ever seen it.
Okay.
Because they were knocked out at the end when the Empyriums came into the Harukaze.
Aiden,
mm-hmm.
after like Portia finishes, and then there's that kind of long space that just kind of exists as the five of you kind of wrestle with how to proceed. Are you taking the opportunity to look like? Have you looked into this crater that Ruvaen is peering into? Because I guess you've not seen it from above.
No, I guess I would be curious, because if Ruvaen is usually quite a talker, I'd assume. So Ruvaen being focused on something is usually an interesting thing for Aiden to notice. So I think he will maybe have a look.
As you look down, the crater is frankly enormous. Have you been told by Ruvaen or Veronika how it came to be?
I mean, I imagine if we know about Bill, we know why. Like, I feels like it's part of the same conversation, but it's up to Ruvaen and Veronika if they divulged about Kaya.
Between the two of you, do you reckon you've spoken about Kaya's end?
I feel like Ruvaen would have known it after the fact as well. So it would be, they'll probably learn from like Veronika and others.
In which case, yeah, as you look down at this crater, you can see that there is all of these kind of multi-hued crystals jutting from the shattered ground. They thrum with potent arcane energy, and Aiden, when you look at it, it's almost a bit like, you know, it's almost, you can almost feel like a static electricity, like a static energy tickling your eyebrows. Like it resonates with arcane corruption. And then as you're peering down at it, your attention is grabbed by like a pebble, a rock that tumbles down the side further into the crater. Like, you know, something shifted and just kind of set this debris loose. And then another bit of debris rolls down, and then another, and Aiden, you being closer to the ground than everyone else, you feel your feet start to wobble slightly. And as you look down, you realise there is something moving beneath the crater. And Ruvaen, are you still on the edge looking down?
Mm-hmm.
The two of you watch as the ground beneath one of the crystals shifts and sinks into the earth. And then another. And then another, like they're being drawn down into the ground, leaving these almost like mole holes in the dirt. And then the sound of something growing gets louder and louder, and you see the earth begin to rise as if something's pushing up from underneath. And what look like long fingers made of wood and vine and tree root begin bursting from the ground and kind of gripping into the dirt, into the earth. And Aiden, you and Ruvaen are kind of, the ground is shaking enough you can hear the cries of panic from people of Harukaze. What's there? What's there? What's happening? As this crater churns more and more and more. And the ground parts to reveal a face. And Aiden, you look down at this face peering up at you and realise it is looking directly at you. And you watch as a 20-foot tall willow tree pulls itself from the ground. And as it stands, you notice like the trunk expands and splits into what look like arms and legs, and this willow-like ent stands to full height, and as it looms up, its face comes level with yours as you stand on the ledge looking down. And as this ent looks at you with large glowing blue eyes, and its willow leaf-like hair sways in the wind. Elsewhere. In elsewhere. Yenestra strides across the stone floor. The peculiarities of this crystal tower now becoming more normal to her. She looks at the gathered Vengers who have stuck by her side. Those news of Harukaze's fall has spread quickly through Kalathar, and the Vengers roaming the region have now consolidated to this crystal tower. As she strides up to the dryad-like creature, she impatiently lets out a short huff. "How much longer will this take?" she says. She snaps. And the dryad slowly turns. You cannot rush a symphony. If you do not prepare the players correctly, you will only breed noise. We are proceeding as planned, the dryad says, before it turns and looks to the cocooned six-winged bird that floats above it. Soon, the power of this tower will have drawn this demon will have drawn the power from this tower. And then we shall see the dawn of a new day. Aiden and Leif, your nemeses have appeared. You may gain a Fabula point.
Yay.
A goggled, a masked face stands in the courtyard of a temple to one of the heretic heathen gods. There are a number of what appear to be metal nail-like tables in the courtyard of this temple of Tione. And muffled panic squeaks come from the floor to the side of the Venator as Gideon looks down at this caretaker, bound and gagged. The lifeless body of the ridgeback raccoon, Tanuki, lying motionless nearby. What do you mean, they've gone? Gideon asks, slowly, stoically. This isn't your land. You've already lost. You're cut off from your Empyrium. You'll never make it out of here, Imperial. The caretaker mocks, and Gideon looks down and draws his sicker sword. Your blood isn't even worth spilling, old man. And the Venator of the 6th Legion turns and leaves the temple, intent on continuing his search for his target. Portia, your nemesis has appeared. You gain a Fabula point. In a chamber filled with opulence, but notably devoid of gold, 3 figures sit opposite one another in ornate chairs. As the 3 trade moguls of Ruma Hironobu stare at one another in silence. He makes some compelling points, the female goblin says, as the other 2 look to Subakira Hiseki, Moog, leader of the Gleaming Lotus Guild. I must admit, it is a worthwhile business proposition that he proposes, responds the burly, muscled, mining lord of the mines, Kalamasada of the Iron Syndicate. And the 3rd noble, wearing his fine jade silk gown, nods as Michibo ponders the offer. So strange that this would come from the wharf master of Harukaze. How impressive a rise in fortune this bill has had. We must ponder carefully. And as the 3 moguls begin their discussions, from the other side of the slightly ajar door to the hall, Bill Maud smiles as he plays with the Imperial coin in his pocket. Alec, Ruvaen, your nemesis has appeared. Gain a Fabula point.
Finally. It's been 500 years.
The sound of metal clanging on metal rings out and reverberates on the stone walls of the chamber. there is a panicked hurriedness to the feet, to the sounds of the footsteps in this place. The jingle of chains, the sound of laboured panting. And with a heave, a large silver form is lifted higher and higher off the ground by Imperial labour workers. A flesh crafter looks up. An Imperial labour looks up and sees her reflection in the silvered skull of the vessel hoisted on chains in front of her. And the sockets of the vessel slowly begin to flicker to life as the soul embedded within it takes root. Moments later, the silver golem lurches, and then again. And then the skull mask turns to regard the labourers. Where am I? The voice utters from within the golem. You were gravely wounded in the battle, my lady. We managed to recover as much of you as we could, but the decapitation, your head, I believe it has returned to the homeland. But fortunately, your soul remains within your body, and we were able to save it. And you are now interred. You live on in undeath. And the golem looks down and notices the metallic form it now resides. You took away my body? You stripped me of my flesh and bone? You put me in this empty shell? Where is my face? Where is my face? The golem shrieks as it thrashes more and more erratically against the chains. Fleshcrafter, please. We've done the best we can. Where is my face? The golem shrieks before one of the chains holding her up snaps and sends her crashing to the ground. The flesh. I must gather the flesh. And the screams of the labourers ring out through the manufactorum as the vessel begins its rampage. Veronika, your nemesis has emerged and evolved. Please gain a Fabula point. Oh, JC's frozen. Okay. I thought they were just being really, really intense. And finally, overlooking a city of white and silver marble, the sounds... There is an unnatural silence that lingers in the air. What do you mean? They took back the portal? The figure overlooking the city asks. My liege, I apologise greatly. We're told that the resistance was much more prepared, much more plucky than we had expected, and they have severed our connection with the heathen lands. Our forces are cut off. The second, the third, the second, the sixth, and the seventh legions are all unaccounted for. And with a slow turn of his head, the Emperor regards his aide. Leave now, before I feel myself needing to express my anger. And the Imperial aide, yes, glorious Emperor, and scurries away. And as the Emperor turns back to regard the city of Thronedaeus, he takes a large, deep breath. Why must these cretins fail so often? He mutters to himself, before opening his eyes, which flash with quicksilver. A grand villain has been revealed. Everyone gain a Fabula point.
Yippee! Yippee!
And as the Emperor gazes down upon the city of Thronedaeus, we will call it there. Congratulations, everyone, on completing episode 8.
Yay!
Yay! Sorry, I'm just very tired today. The energy is not here.
We will give you some Red Bulls for the next one. It's fine. Right, I'm going to play the outro, so I've only got like a minute to talk. Yes, thank you all for. Oh no, I didn't do it. Oh wait, hold. There we go. Right, so thank you, you five, for playing. Thank you, everyone in chat, for watching and or listening. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button on YouTube and the follow button on Twitch. Jump into our Discord if you want to chat with us about this episode. And yeah, keep an eye out for any other content that we're doing. We're here every Monday from 7:30 PM UK time, which is British summertime at the moment. If you like this game, check out DriveThruRPG. You can pick up a link. You can pick that up through our affiliate link. And yeah, we move on to Act 2. We move on to Ruma Hironobu. We're going to go see the goblins, Mr. Frodo. The goblins. Right. Thank you all. Love you all. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.